morning, everybody. It's not car show day. That's right, everybody. It is not car show day. It is not car show day. We are still under quarantine, under lockdown. Well, it's not really lockdown. That's a terrible way to put it. We are stay safe at home. We are stay safe at home. I actually ran and got groceries today and had to wear a mask out because that's what LA County and everybody's calling for. So yeah, it's the streets are empty too. It's really strange. I drove through. So I live in Whittier, California, and Uptown Whittier, which is usually packed with cars and people, was pretty much empty, and all the shops are dark. And yeah, it's an interesting time right now to be in California. There's the stay home safe order that is going on right now, and we are in quarantine conditions with COVID-19. So yeah, it's an interesting time, and it's even cold. Like, I mean, I'm working from home and got the full keeping my head warm, and man, do I need a shave and a haircut. Holy mackerel. Yeah, but that's just laziness. That doesn't happen because I do that myself. So, but anyways, I am here to talk about car shows. I know it's not car show day, but it's kind of car show day. It is car show day review. It's more of just the ones I really love to go to every year. Now, some of them are more of a monthly show, and of course I can't say a monthly show without not saying Wheels and Waves, a show I put on with Fireball and Ken. Of course I have to mention Wheels and Waves, one of my favorites in Malibu, California, at Malibu Country Mart. It is the third Sunday of every month. We've been doing it since 2016. I think the first one, we just saw a thing the other day that Fireball put up on Facebook that it was 2016 was our first one, as I remember. Yeah, it's crazy that it's been 4 years, basically, almost, of doing that event with Fireball and Ken. We've moved from where we started at one location, and then we moved to another location up at Malibu Country Mart, and then we moved to another spot in Malibu Country Mart, just for better parking and everything. So, and a great event every month. Love doing that. But I don't want to talk about the event I put on. Let's talk about the events that other people put on. So if we want to talk monthly events, one of my favorites is the Rattys. Now, the Rattys, the last Sunday of every month at Ballast Point in Long Beach, California, put on one of my favorite events. They put on, it's just a cool cruise in. They hang out, they get there in the morning, they then eat at Ballast Point and drink beer because Ballast Point makes beer. And the Rattys, the guys from the Rattys, like, almost instantly include me like I'm family. Like, I have never, like, there's a few people and clubs in this, this car world that I revolve around in that really, like, just, and they're like that with everybody. Like, that's who the Rattys are. The Rattys are about family. And it's not just like family, like you're a car owner, he's a car owner. I don't own a Lincoln. And they're they're a Lincoln car club is how they started. Now they're a car club. Now it's just a car club. They're a family club. So it's like everybody brings their kids along, and everybody, they're just hanging out, and the wives come, and I love the Rattys. And it's just a big shout out to those guys for always putting on a fantastic event the last Sunday of every month. Love those guys. So now let's jump into car shows. Let's jump into the annual events that are some of my favorites. Now, of course, my list of favorites would be massive, and this video would take forever, but I'm just going to kind of do a top 5-ish. And we're going to start, this is in no particular order, with one of my favorites, the Ventura Nationals. Now, the Ventura Nationals, of course, is in Ventura, California, at the fairgrounds. It is September, Labor Day weekend. So they're one of the first shows that I have ever seen where on social media, across social media, everybody is posting that they're getting their car ready for that show. And then the Ventura Nationals shares that post, and then they share it back, and it just, like, the reach of these guys. Now, Aaron and Holly are the ones who put this on. They're good friends. And does that make me prejudiced? I would love that show before we became friends. But there's another group, like the Rattys are, where the Ventura Nationals family has included me as family. Like, I am part of that group. I love hanging out with them. What's funny is they don't live in Ventura. They live close to me in Whittier. I see them all the time, and see the whole family, like extended family, because the whole family puts that show on together. Like, I mean, you know, dads, you know, like Aaron's dad and mom, and Holly's dad and mom, and brothers and sisters and cousins, and everybody puts on that show together. And that's what's cool about that event, is that, and it's just like, it's a cool, like, you just want to I could hang out with them all day at that show. Like, I do hang out all day at that show. When I do the Ventura Nationals, I get there at like 5:30 in the morning, and I shoot them, actually the cars coming in when sunrise is happening, and I am there till that show ends. And it's always a blast, and I love the Ventura Nationals, and it's always a good time at that event. Let's see what else is on the list. A new one to me, a new event that I went to in 2019 for the first time. Thanks to my friends Mitzi and Shiny for that. I went to the RPM Nationals. Like, 5-hour drive from where we are in Southern California. It's in Santa Margarita Ranch. How do you even describe, like, it's hard to describe what the RPM Nationals is like. So it's put on by a group of guys. They do basically flag start drag racing on an old airfield, and it is 4-cylinder and flathead Fords just going to town. And it's just awesome racing, and it's just crazy. And I've been going to the drag races for a long time. Like, I've been because of being in the Aftermarket Automotive. If you watch the Random Thursday video, you can hear me talk about that. You should, I'll link it there. So being in the Aftermarket Automotive, I've gotten to see a lot of different kinds of racing, road racing and drag racing and boat racing and all kinds of stuff. But there's just something about the nostalgia of the RPM Nationals. There's just, like, the return road's an old dirt road. There's nothing fancy. There's no fancy paint jobs. It's just trying to get down the track fast. It's awesome. The environment is unbelievable. It's just such a laid back, fun day. And I had such a blast for my first year being 2019, and I will try to go every year if I can. Like, I had such a blast at last year's RPM Nationals. So another event, one of my favorites. Let's see what's next on the list. So along the lines of that same kind of nostalgia thing that the RPM Nationals is the Aces Hot Rod Resurrection, which actually would have been, I think this weekend coming up. Was supposed to be, but because of what's going on, it got postponed. It'll happen again. But so the Aces is a traditional hot rod and custom car club, and I actually know a few of those guys in that club through just being in the car show scene. But they put on this event at Old World Village, which is this old kind of German town in Huntington Beach. And the streets are cobblestone, and the buildings are kind of these old-looking German buildings, and they then, in amongst that, which would be a walkway, not a street of these cobblestones, they fill it with hot rods. So the background is bitchin' that you're photographing. Like, it's like a piece of time. Like, somebody's parking their 50s traditional hot rod right next to these buildings. And for me, for a filmmaker and photographer, it's amazing. It's amazing. I have such a blast at that event every year. I try to go every year. Sometimes things don't work out, but I pretty much have been going for the last few years, and it is definitely one of my favorites. I would highly recommend that one. Let's see what else we got. Now we're going to throw you a little curveball. So we've been doing the traditional hot rod stuff, kind of. What the Ventura Nationals is more of a traditional hot rod and custom show. RPM Nationals obviously is traditional kind of drag racing with the 4-bangers and flatheads. And then Aces Car Club, of course, and the Aces Hot Rod Resurrection is also more of a traditional hot rod, which is my ballpark where I like. But I like all cars. I like everything. I mean, I go to concourse events and everything else. But one of my favorites, which is literally, I walk a block and then a block, so 2 blocks, and I'm at the top of the show, which is in Whittier, which is actually in Uptown Whittier, is the Los Muertos Uptown Festival. Now, of course, that's Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead, a festival celebrating the people that are gone. and remembering them on that day. So there's vendors, and there's performers, and there's bands, and there's cars, and there's lots of cars. There are an unbelievable amount of cars show up to this event every year. Bombs, lowriders, some guys, traditional hot rods, classics, you name it, kind of show up. They decorate their cars with altars of remembering some of their relatives that have passed on, and it's beautiful and unbelievable, and the cars are unbelievable. And then a lot of people get made up, whether they do face paint, they're doing Calavera makeup. One of my friends who is a Lincoln owner, she does an unbelievable outfit, which I'll show you. I mean, it's just, yeah, wow. And an unbelievable event. Culturally, it's such a great event, and it's a big part of Southern California. So it's one of the largest events in Southern, for that Day of the Dead type of event in Southern California, and it is always a good time. Another one on the list. Let's see what else we got. So next up on the list is the corn feed run. That sounds weird, doesn't it? A corn feed run. Like you would think that you're running a 5K, but this is not a 5K. This is cars running around in a loop in Chino. It is a wonderful event. Again, postponed this year because it would have been coming up soon to later on this year because of what's going on. But the corn feed run is always a favorite. And I love that show. Shiny goes to that every year. I hang out with him and see a bunch of other car owners that I know. And there's tree-lined streets, and there's big rigs that show up. They're all show rigs. There's vendors, and it's just chock-a-block of cars. It's pretty much all of these events that I'm talking about, by the way, except for the Ventura Nationals, are free for spectators. So if you're not a car owner, or if you are a car owner and you don't want to bring your car in, a lot of these you can go check out. I mean, that's true of most of the shows that are in Southern California. But I digress. So let's see what else we got on the list. So my last one on the list, my almost last one on the list. My almost last one on the list is the Big Bear Fun Run. Now, Big Bear is about 2 hours up the mountain, because there are mountains in Southern California. It's 2 hours up the mountain from here. It is a blast, the Big Bear Fun Run. It's a part of it is just a change of atmosphere. Most car shows, it's in a parking lot, or it's asphalt, or maybe on grass, depending on the event. Like there's the San Marino Motor Classic, which is in a park on the lawn. But most car shows are in a parking lot or on a street. And this one, yes, it is on a street, but it's Big Bear. There's snow. Like there's not snow. There's not snow when this event's going on. But it's a place that it snows. So there's big pine trees, and the sky is just blue and beautiful, and the area is beautiful, and there's always wonderful cars. And what I like is sometimes you got to get out of the area, because then you get to see other cars. You get to see a change of pace from going, if you're in Southern California, to a lot of the same shows. So Big Bear Fun Run, always a blast. I'm going to put dates of when they usually are, and if they are later this year, we'll put the postponed dates also in the description, so you'll see all of that. And I can't leave out one of my other favorites, which is also like a 2-hour drive, going out to Indian Wells to the Dr. George car show. That is, like, from a photography standpoint, so that's a giant lawn in a tennis pavilion. So there's the tennis pavilion, and next to that is a massive lawn, and it is green as gets, and they park a crap load of hot rods out there and customs and you name it. And then, again, for me, for photography, it's blue skies, and there's big mountains in the background and palm trees, and there's a ton of people that actually from Southern California that cruise out there. And I did not make it out to this year's show because I was sick, but I usually go every year. It is a blast. Definitely put that one on the calendar if you can make it out to that one. So those are my few kind of top, 6, 8 that I gave you? But there's so many. There's so many car shows. I mean, look at all my videos. You can see all the different types of car shows. Go check out dailydriverproject.com. You can see more. yeah, there's so much. Now, if you want like a car show fix, besides what's going on with this, for the last, I don't know, weeks, hopefully you're following me on Instagram, I've been posting car shows all from 2019. So, and you should, if you're not following me on Instagram, why are you not following me on Instagram? I post there every day during the week and have been posting stories about car shows. You know, and I post on Daily Driver Project right now because there's no car shows going on. I'm posting street spots, lots of street spots. So yeah, it's good. It's good car show stuff. I love the car show scene. We're just gonna keep hanging out, doing car show stuff, and talking automotive. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for checking out this video, and we will see you soon, I hope, at the next show.